Welcome back for another deep dive. This time, we're going to be taking a look at Potency.World
PW.
PW, yeah, exactly. They're all about empowering young women to really reach their full potential.
Yeah.
And we're using their blue paper today, which is kind of their strategic plan.
It's really their blueprint.
It's their blueprint, yeah. And
for how they see the future unfolding.
Yeah, and one of the things that I thought was really cool about it is it's not just focused on the social good aspects of it. It really connects empowering girls with some pretty significant, I think, economic and societal advantages.
Absolutely. I think one of the most interesting things about their approach is that they really are looking at the broader ripple effects. You know, what happens when we invest in girls, not just for themselves and their families, but for the entire society and the economy?
Yeah.
It's a fascinating approach.
Yeah, and their blue paper dives into all of that. It gets into social mobility, education, the power of women in leadership. But speaking of social mobility, I'd love to kind of hear your thoughts on that. What does that even mean?
Right.
And how does PW want to sort of influence that?
So social mobility is really about a person's ability to kind of improve their economic and social standing, no matter what background they come from.
Okay.
And it's often measured by things like, especially in the UK, we see birth rate, early childhood development, school readiness.
So those are kind of like the traditional measures.
Exactly.
But it sounds like PW is kind of going beyond that.
They are. They're really emphasizing what they call agency in young women.
Okay, so what does that mean, agency?
So think of it as giving young women the tools and the confidence to really make their own choices, to break free from, any sort of limiting beliefs and create their own paths.
Okay.
It's about fostering this belief that they can shape their own future.
So it's not just about, climbing a predetermined ladder. It's about being able to build your own ladder.
That's a great way to put it. Yeah, and they're doing that by engaging with, a diverse range of successful women as role models.
Oh, interesting.
So we're talking business leaders, artists, scientists, community leaders, women from all walks of life, to really show these girls hey, success can look like this, or it can look like this.
So it's really about representation and showing them that it doesn't have to be one path.
It's about shifting the mindset, not just for the girls themselves, but I think for society as a whole.
Now let's talk about these PW academies.
Yeah.
10,000 girls in each academy. That's a massive scale.
It's impressive.
They sound like more than just your typical schools.
Absolutely. They're designed to be these incredible hubs of learning and collaboration and really focusing on 21st century skills, which I think is critical. They have 5 core values that they really drive their approach with: creativity, collaboration, flexibility, innovation, and a growth mindset.
I was reading that companies are losing billions of dollars annually because of a lack of those very skills.
Oh, yeah.
It makes you think,
absolutely,
are businesses even really preparing young people for the future?
That's a really great point. And that's, I think, where PW is really stepping in. They're really making the case that investing in these girls is not just an altruistic thing to do. It actually makes good economic sense. You're building a talent pool that's ready to really contribute and drive innovation.
So they're building these incredible academies, but how are they getting the word out?
Right.
How are they engaging with the community?
So this is where their community outreach champions, or COCs, come in.
Yeah, I was curious about those. So they're kind of like the boots on the ground for teams.
Exactly. These are women, they're successful women from various different fields who will be connecting with schools and communities, creating inspiring content, showcasing the journeys of other successful women. Really think of them as ambassadors, spreading the word and generating excitement about what PW represents.
It's like that idea of, if you can see it, you can be it.
Exactly. And it ties back to those 5 core values.
Right.
Curiosity, passion, purpose, mastery, autonomy. These are all things that are often cited as characteristics of successful women in leadership.
Okay, I'm starting to see how this is all fitting together.
Yeah.
Now I'm really interested in the economic side of things. I mean, we all know that gender equity is important.
Yes.
But PW is making this really strong case for the economic impact of it.
Absolutely. I mean, the OECD and the World Economic Forum, they've actually predicted that global GDP could increase by a whopping 26%.
Wow.
Or $28 trillion if women participated in the workforce at the same rate as men.
That's a mind-blowing number. How do these PW academies actually, contribute to that?
So for starters, they're creating jobs. Right. They're providing training that supports female entrepreneurship.
Right.
But it goes even further than that. I mean, imagine a world with more women in leadership roles making decisions about investments, products, services. It would fundamentally change the economic landscape.
So it's not just about having women in the workforce.
Right.
It's about women sort of driving the direction of the economy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
More women in the workforce also means more women as consumers, which leads to the development of new products and services that are specifically tailored to their needs and preferences.
Right, which benefits everyone. Right?
Everyone benefits.
It's a more vibrant.
Exactly.
And ultimately, I think, more innovative economy.
It's about creating an economy that reflects the needs and the talents of everyone.
Right.
Now, PW's impact really extends beyond just the economics, It's about the interconnectedness of education, health, and even political engagement.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, when women have access to education, they're empowered to make more informed decisions about their own health, their well-being.
And those benefits, I think, extend to their families and their communities as well.
Yeah.
Healthier women contribute more to the economy and society as a whole. So it really is a virtuous cycle.
But what about their roles in shaping policies and decisions that actually affect their lives? I mean, that's got to be a key part of this.
Oh, it's absolutely crucial. And here's a startling statistic from the Blue Paper, even in developed economies like the UK.
Okay.
Female political participation is only 31%.
Wow, so less than a third?
Less than a third.
It makes you wonder if you can really even call that a true democracy if such a large portion of the population isn't represented in those decisions.
It raises a critical question about representation, but research has shown that there is a direct link between higher levels of education in women and increased political participation.
Okay.
So it's not just about, getting them into the voting booth.
Right.
It's about empowering them to actually shape the policies that affect their lives.
So PW isn't just fostering a generation of entrepreneurs and innovators. They're potentially laying the groundwork for a future with more women in government, shaping policies,
absolutely,
advocating for the issues that matter most to them.
Exactly. It's about long-term change. And by empowering these girls with education and confidence, they're much more likely to become engaged citizens and leaders who can really make a difference.
That's a powerful idea. And speaking of leadership, the Blue Paper makes this really compelling case for businesses to kind of get on board with PW's mission. So for our listeners in the business world, what's the bottom line? What's in it for them?
For companies investing in initiatives like PW, it offers a really tangible return on investment.
Okay.
It's not just about doing the right thing, it's about good business sense.
Okay, all ears, break it down for me.
So think about it this way. By supporting the education and empowerment of young women, companies are essentially investing in a larger and more diverse talent pool.
That makes sense. I mean, a wider range of talent means a wider range of perspective and skills.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And studies have shown that companies with more diverse leadership teams are often more innovative, more adaptable, and ultimately more profitable.
So diversity is not just like a buzzword.
It's not a buzz.
A key ingredient for success.
It's a key ingredient for success in today's global marketplace.
And when you consider the growing purchasing power of women.
Absolutely.
Supporting initiatives like PW also makes sense from like a purely market perspective.
Right.
More women in the workforce means more women making purchasing decisions.
Yeah.
So businesses really need to understand and cater to this increasingly influential consumer group.
And let's not forget about, corporate social responsibility.
Right.
Supporting initiatives like PW aligns perfectly with the growing focus on ESG.
Absolutely.
Those environmental, social, and governance factors.
It's a big deal. Yeah, investors and consumers are holding companies accountable for their social impact now.
They are.
It's not just about profits anymore.
It's about creating a sustainable future where businesses thrive by contributing to a more equitable and just world.
Right. So supporting PW kind of ticks all the boxes.
It does. It's good for business, good for society, and good for the future.
Okay. So to sum it all up, PW is taking this really comprehensive approach to empowering young women. It's about education, economic opportunity, political participation, health, and well-being.
It's a multifaceted strategy with the potential for positive change on so many different levels. But I think what I find so impressive is that they're not just focused on the short-term gains. They're thinking about the long game. About how these investments in young women today will shape a more equitable and prosperous future for everyone.
It's ambitious, but it's a really compelling vision.
It is.
And it's backed by data and research.
Absolutely.
Which I think gives it even more weight.
Yeah.
This deep dive has really opened my eyes to the possibility.
It's truly inspiring, but it also makes you wonder, PW is focusing on girls between the ages of 11 and 18.
Okay.
What if we extended that support even further?
You mean like start even earlier?
Start earlier.
Invest in early childhood.
Exactly. Imagine the exponential impact of nurturing those seeds of agency and potential from a very young age.
Yeah, it makes you realize that empowering women isn't just about like a specific program or initiative. It's about a fundamental shift in how we value and nurture girls from the very beginning.
It's about creating a world where they're encouraged to dream big. To believe in themselves and to know that they have the power to achieve those dreams.
That's a world worth striving for.
It is.
It's a world where everyone benefits from the talents and contributions of empowered women. Yeah, it's been a really eye-opening deep dive. I feel like PW has really thought this through.
They have.
From the academies to the outreach and the focus on economic empowerment.
They've done their homework. And I think what makes it so powerful is that they are addressing these issues, which are all interconnected in such a holistic way. They're not just trying to like slap a Band-Aid on the symptoms. They're going for the root causes of inequality.
And they're doing it in a way that benefits everyone. It's not just about like helping girls. It's about creating a better future for all of us.
Exactly. It's about recognizing that when women thrive, everyone thrives.
It's about unleashing that potential.
That's been stifled for far too long.
It makes you wonder, what kind of world could we create if we really truly invested in the potential of women and girls?
I mean, the possibilities are limitless. Imagine a world with more female leaders, scientists, entrepreneurs, artists, policymakers. I mean, imagine the innovations, the breakthroughs, the solutions that we could unlock if we really just tapped into that collective intelligence and creativity of all people, regardless of gender.
That's a pretty inspiring vision.
It is.
And it's not just a pipe dream. I mean, PW is showing us that it's possible.
Absolutely. They're really showing that you can create that tangible change.
And they're inviting all of us to be a part of it.
They are.
Absolutely. Whether it's, mentoring a young woman, supporting organizations like PW, or just challenging those gender biases that we see in our everyday lives, we can all contribute to creating a more equitable world.
I think even small actions can have that ripple effect. So if this deep dive has sparked something in you, don't let that feeling fade. Take action, however small it might seem, and be a part of this incredible movement.
Well said. We've covered a lot of ground today, and I hope our listeners are as inspired as I am.
Me too.
If you want to learn more about PW and how you can get involved, we'll include all the relevant links in the show notes.
And remember, empowering women, it's not just about these grand gestures. It's really about the everyday choices that we make, the conversations that we have, and the way that we treat each other.
It's about creating a world where every girl has the opportunity to reach her full potential.
Exactly.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
Yes, thank you.
And until next time, keep learning, keep questioning,
keep pushing
for a better future.